why should a young person get involved at HUMC? Um, I think because it becomes a second family. It did for me. Because I guess before, like especially like going 7th and 8th grade, I was really like alone in my faith, and I was kind of lost when I was here. But gradually, like within a year or two, like I just felt like I belonged here, and I like always wanted to come back no matter what. And I knew that sometimes like if I didn't go for a while, like I could always come back and feel welcomed here. And so like this church is one of the most welcoming communities that I've ever been around. And so especially if you're at a point when you're like trying to I guess discover like what your faith is all about, like these are the people that are going to help you get to where you need to be. And they're going to like like you said, like I said before, like it they locked it in for me, I guess. So I would definitely encourage like always coming back, because this is the most welcoming family that I could ever have.
If I were speaking to a young person, I would definitely say get involved at HUMC because it's just a place to escape to. I feel like you can come here at any time, not just on Sundays, but any day of the week, and find someone here to talk to if needed, or just find a room if you need to do homework, if you just need to hang out and get away from your home life, from school. It's kind of a sanctuary. And then on Sundays, it really is a family, and it just starts your week off right. And I feel like it's just a really good place to have if you need some place to get away and people to talk to. So definitely get involved.
It's just one big family. You'll make lifelong friends here. I know I definitely have. You'll have some of the most fondest memories here. It's another group of people that you can just get away from the rest of the world and just completely 100% be yourself, because you know you'll be accepted. And there's so many different things you can get involved in. You can get involved in youth, you can get involved in puppets, you can get involved in kids, in music, you can get involved in anything.
I honestly think it's the people. Whenever I come, one big, pull is always the people that come to you here, make it what it is. I mean, you can say Humsey, but it's really the people inside Humsey that make it Humsey. And I think that really is a big pull of why people come, why people enjoy it so much, why people come back. I mean, you see alumni coming back. I think it's just the personality and the diversity of the people that come here, make it what it is.
Well, first of all, don't join unless you really want to. I feel like a lot of people come and go and don't stay because they're lured by their friends and stuff. And that's always great to like have more people come, but I feel like you need to be intrinsically motivated to want to stay. And don't come for the social. I think you really need to just focus on why you're there. I mean, yeah, it's fun and everything, and that's the great part about it, but like it's really helpful to yourself and like understanding who you are and growing as a person if you really know why you're here. And I think that's what's led me to be who I am today.
And the easiest thing to say about this church is that we're all like a big family. Like it's just, there's no other like way to put it. You come here and you feel like a sense of like unity. Everyone knows each other. Even if you don't know people, they'll get to know you, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it's just like really nice having people that like actually care about what's going on with you, like how you're doing.
It's just, you just got to do it, throw caution to the wind. Everybody's experience is different, and I can only say that mine has been great, and it's just, everybody's here to support you. There's not a single person here who's going to turn you away when you need something, or, that's just, because if they didn't want to be here for you, then they wouldn't. They wouldn't be in the church, they wouldn't be in the building. So it's, whether you need somebody or not, there's going to be, at that moment or not, there's going to be a point in your life where you need something, and it's just having this support system, this second family to turn to is just amazing.
I always kind of struggled with the whole, I focused too much on the factuality of it all. I was always worried too much, is this actually right? Did God actually create everything in 7 days? Did he actually flood the whole world, Noah on an ark with all the animals? And it's one of those things, like, you need to stop looking at the Bible and church as a whole as a history lesson and learn it more just to try to learn the values from it. And if the values really resonate with you, then maybe, then you have the faith, and then, you believing that that's actually what happened will come next. But, I'd rather you not believe a single story from the Bible is totally factual and yet still get a strong message out of it than just let the gospel slip away from you because you can't quite wrap your head around this almighty being.
Anyone should get involved with HUMC, just because it's a good place to be. And even if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure church is my thing, or, oh, I don't know if the people will judge me or like not like me or whatever, but they won't. And everyone here is so great, and everyone kind of has, they're real people. They're not fake or artificial, or they're not going to look down on you or anything. They're just good people, and they want to get to know you and build relationships with you, and that's the coolest thing to me. It's how many relationships I've been able to build here. And the youth group is great, and it's awesome to have that connection. Because you see people in school, but you might not get the chance to talk to them or really get to know them. And youth group provides that opportunity. And for me, it's just really given me direction and something that I want to take with me to college.
I think, like, early to middle elementary school, I came to a couple services here. And then we went for a little bit, and then we stopped going. And then I came when the connection first started. Not first started, but like a little bit after it started, we came to the connection, and I really liked it. I don't remember exactly when that was, maybe 6th, 7th grade. I really liked that service, and that was what made me start coming regularly. And then I decided to start playing music here, and that was just a big influence. So I remember when Drew came, that was like, I really liked him. He was just really cool. It was just like, we really connected. And he would always pull me aside and kind of like ask, like, hey, how's your family doing? And how's it, like, just how's your life going? And like, we'd have like these heart-to-heart talks. And that just, it was really nice doing that. Yeah, I remember 7th grade, no, not 7th grade, 8th grade, the Raleigh mission trip. Me and Sean Devilites were playing basketball. And I thought that I was really good, and he would like kind of let me win. And then I kind of like put up a shot, and he just denied me so hard. It was just, we just both stared at each other and just started cracking up. And that was really funny. And then after that, we were like really good friends. Just after that one moment, it was funny.
But he's just really kind-hearted, which is important, and good to people.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like Akash. I don't know a
That's true.
single. There's nobody that I know that is more universally liked.
Akash. I think it's funny because everybody kind of teases him, not to make fun of him, but just to mess with him, I guess. But fond memory, he's pretty great at playing the guitar. I remember that from Zion. Him and Carrie were crushing it. He is also always happy. He's just got this huge smile, and he's just walking around being funny and goofy, and people like that about him.
Akash is really considerate and very caring, and he always is very like welcoming when I come into church, and always gives me a hug, which is always a great way to start the service.
I mean, I know some of like my earliest memories with him are from mission trips, like 7th and 8th grade, and it was always really fun to see him like working with kids and stuff, and with other members of the church.
I just have like middle school memories of Akash. That's where I first got to know him. Was through the middle school, and then a lot of my friends at the middle school were like, come to youth group. So I did, and it was nice like having known him from school, and then like meeting him at youth group too.
Probably my favorite memory of Akash was we were at the Raleigh mission trip. I think it was our freshman year, sophomore year.
It was like summer before freshman year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Freshman year.
Well, I think it was the Raleigh trip at least. And so this was the last night, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but this was that emotional pinnacle night. And then Akash, so like I just see Akash, and he's kind of like, a couple people were kind of tearing up, and he was kind of tearing up. And then I just walk up to Akash and I try to like dap him up, and I put one hand over him. He just slaps my hand away, gives me this big old bear hug, and just started bawling on my shoulder. Like, it was so funny. Like it was really cute, and we shared that
we didn't
moment.
share that
But
moment.
it was precious, but it was very unexpected.
He gives good hugs. He's like a big teddy bear, and he's just really good-hearted.
Gosh,
No.
he's always like, he's always laughing. I always hear him laughing. If you don't see him, you can hear him laughing most of the time.
I remember me and you. I'm just saying. I just remember. This was from that trip.
Okay.
Was me and you, because there was a picture that you and Tori took in which you're like holding your tongues like.
Oh my god, in like middle school?
Yeah, and the way the picture was taken, it totally looked like you were touching each other's tongues. And so we took a picture to mimic that picture. So that was fun.
I do remember that.
We like the same music, so that's good too. Swag master.
Swag.
He's good at the drums,
Obviously.
clearly.
Yeah. I think that goes without saying.
Akash has some pretty good dance moves too. He was
Oh,
there
yeah.
for like that jam sesh for My Chemical Romance, right?
What?
On the Steubenville trip when everybody was like air guitaring to.
All I remember from Steubenville is Airbender.
Oh, not Steubenville, Troy.
Something that makes Akash special. Well, there's lots of things. He's funny. I think that he makes things fun. Like, at church too, like, he's really funny. He's always making jokes. And he's a nice person. I think that he's very patient with me a lot. Having Akash's brother it's a blessing. Like, he's done a lot for me, and I'm really thankful for that. It's gonna be kind of empty without Akash, because me and him are like best friends, brother and sister. Yeah, it'll take a lot to get used to, but I think he'll have a good time in college. He'll see somebody who's kind of like in the outside, and he'll like bring them inside, and he makes them feel special and wanted. And that's a good trait to have.
You could work at
Famous drummer.
a helpline company, tech support.
I feel like Akash is gonna be a rapper. Swag Master Flex. It's gonna be his name, and it's gonna be awesome.
Pediatrician.
Oh, Akash, no, Akash, like, this is exactly where you would probably think he would be, but a middle school, like, percussion teacher.
Oh yeah.
Like, just that cool middle school percussion teacher. It's like, yeah, man, like, check out the drums.
I don't know about all that.
No, he talked like that.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he
See, I can see
yeah, say just Swag Master Flex on his name tag.
Yeah, that would be what the students would call him.
Back.
He could be a chef.
I can see him being a chef.
Definitely chef.
He's like on the big hat. He's like flipping pancakes.
He's going the medicine route. That's not very funny. I don't know.
Maybe he'll be a nurse. A man nurse.
A man nurse? Yeah, I can
Like-
see him doing
I
that.
could see him having very good bedside manner. If it's not insulting.
No,
It's a compliment.
I mean, yeah, he'll go far in medicine, I'm sure. But
A doctor. That would be really funny. Seeing him all serious. And being a doctor is hard work. Like, that would be kind of cool to see him be a doctor.
The earliest thing I can remember is probably confirmation. I went through confirmation in 10th grade. I think it was Bree and I think Devin Lawless were the ones who convinced me, as well as Drew, that it was a good idea. And at first I wasn't taking it as seriously as I should have. But once I started going through the process, I was really, really in it, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it really brought me stronger, and in my faith and helped me a lot. So I feel like going through that process, that 3 or 4 month process, and then at the end going on the retreat. That retreat was probably one of the best weekends I've ever had. It was so much fun. I went on one mission trip. I thought it just completely gave me a new perspective on just like living conditions, and I mean how blessed we are in this area to have what we have, and how it's just an incredible thing to be able to give back and help other people that are not as fortunate. And I mean, it was just eye-opening in the area, in the house that we worked on, and it made me feel great, being able to do something that was really going to be able to help and benefit them in just a week's worth of time. Fondest memory is probably winning the Foursquare tournament that we had in the gym. Beat Drew a couple of times, but I try to toss it off.
On the last mission trip, I have 2, is that okay? So we were going, I don't remember where we eat, it was like BJ's or something. It was some place like Golden Corral where it's like a buffet and you get everything. I just remember him and Dan has huge plate of popcorn shrimp. All I remember is they had, I don't know if it was a race or something or who could eat more, but it was just so fast. They just kept eating popcorn shrimp, and the last thing, I think it was on Instagram or something, was a picture of Alex, just like, of so much. They did it within like 5 minutes, and then they went back for more food. Like, I don't know where it went.
He's funny and he's genuine.
And he's like that person you want to be around.
Yeah, he's a cool person to be around.
He's very cool to be around.
Alex is awesome. The mission trips and everything is just, it's fun. I actually have him saved in my phone as Alex Broskeby. So, bro, B-R-O. He's my boy. And, it's just fun being around him. The guy's hilarious. Actually, fondest memory, last year when we were at the buffet in Christiansburg, watching him and Dan Greenfield see he could eat that plate of shrimp the fastest, that was really funny. I was dying.
All I have to say is Megabed, and he should remember that. So I'll just say that.
I mean, I only got to know him on the Spy trip last summer, and I think he actually opened up a lot during that trip, and I think that really affected his faith too, and even his junior year or senior year, of youth group, when he started coming more often, I think he really started taking things more seriously. Not that he wasn't before, but
but actually taking initiative and taking charge with his faith.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that was something that happened over
you
the
guys
past
just
couple
eating
years.
contest.
Chubby Bunny.
How many fried shrimp you could fit in your mouth?
I don't even know how many we did.
That's very gross.
It was good.
So that same night in Christiansburg when I kind of had my meltdown, he was sitting right there next to me, and during the devotion and everything, and he did it too, and it was just kind of a moment, they were talking, and it was just it both just hit us, it was, I don't want to speak for him and say that he was in a bad spot, but it was, we both wanted to be in a better spot, and it really, I mean, we're the same, we're part of this Herndon family, even though I don't live in Herndon.
I don't know, he really just loves life. He just has such a vibrant personality. Whenever anything bad happens to him, he's smiling about it 5 minutes later.
Yeah, he's always smiling.
He's one of the happiest people I know. It's pretty cool.
And he's just really good. I don't know how he does this, but he'll do school and 2 sports and then work at Apple 10 hours a day. And I'm how do you have all this time for all these activities? And it just blows my mind.
He sleeps during math.
That must be it. I don't know.
My fondest memory of Alex would probably be recently. This past summer on the mission trip, it was really cool that he went because I wasn't really expecting him to, and I feel we all saw a different side of him, and I got to know him a lot better on the mission trip, which was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, mission trips, and I don't think I was there last year, but I see him a lot at Young Life and stuff, and it's always great to see him come out to that. He's just really engaging with everyone. Alex is funny. I mean, he makes everyone laugh. He brings a light to the room a lot of the time. So
this year at the mission trip, we would always do devotions at night, and he one night was very like vocal and is connected to a lot of us, which was really cool. And he wasn't afraid to like share stuff with us, and I think it impacted a lot of us.
He could be an astronaut or like a zoo veterinarian and like feed like the tigers and stuff. I don't know.
You ever seen the show Bert the Conqueror? This guy like just like runs around and rides roller coasters and they follow him with TV cameras. I feel like that'd be his thing.
A pimp.
I could
all.
see him being like working in Vegas, like casinos possibly. I don't know why. I can kind of
Definitely
see
some
it.
like stingy salesman that like tries to push a really
Used
bad
car
product.
salesman.
Yeah.
A used car salesman. Like
Not saying he's a bad person, but
I could see him growing out his hair really nicely and being like a hair model. That'd be funny.
Yeah, he did cut it. It's a shame.
Yeah.
The pictures. Most people delete all of their old unattractive Facebook pictures
Nope,
after
he
a
keeps
while.
his.
He
He
keeps
does.
all of his
All
like.
of 'em.
He has his weird little pictures from when he's in 8th grade wearing like Hollister shirts and,
And the
long
mirror
hair.
selfies, yeah.
Mirror selfies of him wearing glasses and like the long like Bieber hair, but not nearly as nice looking. Like 'cause it was all curled to the side and everything. It was funny. They're still up there. They're still up there.
He does not care.
Mhm.
He has a really good work ethic, though. So I think anything that he wants to do, he could do really well.
Oh, gosh. Honestly, I think he will end up becoming an engineer because I know that's what
That's
he's
what he
going.
wants to do,
Yeah, I
right?
know that's what he got accepted into Tech's engineering program, early action. I remember I saw your Facebook status, and so I think that that's something that he'll be able to apply himself to and like get to because I know that he's very strong-willed.
I think he's one of the people that you can't even make up a fake one because he'll probably end up doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I could see him becoming a sports announcer for like a college team or something.
For sure. Yeah, I can
He's
definitely
really
see
into
that
sports,
too.
and I feel like his humor could take him a long way.
Yeah, I completely agree.
In it, but my earliest best memories in the church were when I started youth group with Pastor Justin, and he was just so funny, and everyone had a lot of fun, and everyone wanted to come. But I just remember in middle school, this was the place to be, and like 40 people would come to lock-ins, and the entire middle school would come essentially, and it was just so fun to see people getting involved or people who wouldn't usually be in a church and having fun and seeing the fun side of church. Mission trips for me initially were just a really good way to meet people. And then since then, I've kind of realized it's not about the work. And I mean, it is important. The work's important. But just the relationships that can be formed. And then for Costa Rica especially, it's just amazing to me that you're all working and guiding each other in relationships with Christ, but you're like thousands of miles apart. And that just blows my mind how you can form relationships when you don't even speak the same language and then continue those relationships for years, and it's just really cool to see. Well, we were trying to spoon this one time, and like it was it was on a mission trip, and there was like one night, and I was like, Maggie, will you spoon with me? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll be Big Spoon. And I was like, Big Spoon. And then I like went to lie down, and I hit my head against the wall. It was really awkward. and then I was retelling the story the next night, and it happened again. So hate when that happened.
Well, Bree was pretty much the person who got me involved in this church. I remember like all of freshman year and like sophomore year, she'd always like mention, she's like, oh, like you should come to youth group, stuff like this. And I eventually started to come, and that's how I got that connection. It was nice since she was probably one of the few people I knew when I first came. So that was like something that really helped me come back, was knowing at least one person there. So that was really nice.
Bree's just always so cheery and happy and excited that it's hard to not have a fond memory around her, because it's just, she's always positive and it makes everyone positive around her. When we were in Zion, she they were like brushing their teeth outside, and I guess it was like a Costa Rica thing, but I just thought that was really funny, that they like made a concerted effort to go outside every night and brush their teeth. Can't judge, but I thought that was pretty funny. She's always bringing people in. She's always encouraging. You know, she just wants to help people. She wants to make a difference, and I think that's awesome.
I have so many
So
fond
many.
memories of Bree. I met her in 3rd grade, and we've been really good friends ever since. She was one of the main reasons why I like switched to this church, and why I joined the youth group. She would always drag me over on Saturdays, I remember, and I got to know PJ really well, who definitely helped draw me into the church as well. But without Bree, I don't know if I would have made the move, so I'm glad that she did. Bree loves Crocs. She wears them all the time. And it's just really funny to me because she like owns them. She'll like point out whenever she wears Crocs.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people
I remember
don't
one
do.
time she got a Croc phone case. I thought that was pretty cool.
But I feel like she's just a really good example for the rest of us about like how to live our life.
Right.
She doesn't waver. I feel like a lot of people do. And her actions, like, she doesn't act one way and then say something else. She does what she says she will.
Right. And I love how excited she is about Costa Rica. She went last year. She's there now as we speak. And I just know, like, weeks leading up to it, she's like, Costa Rica, Costa Rica. She's so excited. And I think that's really awesome that she is so ready to go out and make an impact.
No, seriously, like, Brianna is the most dedicated
Christian
teenager
I've ever seen.
definitely in this church, like, as
Yeah.
long as I've been in here. I mean, she goes to all of the,
She goes
every single
to
mission trip there is, and
every
she's-
mission trip. She stopped. She took all of her finals early so she could specifically go on the Costa Rica mission
she's really dedicated to her faith, and I really admire that in her. I wish I was that dedicated.
Oh, we did coach Upward together. We had the squad. Your sister played on that. That was a good time, Jenna. Yeah, we were champions. Oh, no, I'm never gonna. Okay, it was really weird. I don't remember what she was mad about, but one day she was really mad about some sort of drama, something. And we were coaching that day. Me and her were just shooting around. She was just getting mad, and she was just draining every shot she took. And we realized that when she is angry, she is infinitely better at basketball. So, like, I remember one time we were trying to play basketball, and she was like, "Make me angry, Mark," and I couldn't do it.
I think we were all in the same car, but like on the way to the Raleigh mission trip, we would all like have our iPods and all pick the same song and hit play at the exact same time, so we would all be listening to the same song. And I thought that was funny. That was cool. We were weird back then.
Yeah, we did do things like that. She's very positive, and I don't know, most people can kind of slip up when you're talking to them and accidentally kind of badmouth someone they didn't mean to or do something like that. And Bree just doesn't. Like, I don't know how many times I've heard you say something pretty, like, bad about a person. You really, the whole, like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it kind of thing. You really follow that rule very well. She's Good Samaritan of the senior class in high school.
That was pretty accurate, I thought.
The whole grade agreed
Thanks.
on that. There's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
It's done.
Good Samaritan.
Bam. They did our work for us.
Brianna Hogan.
Nothing to say.
Me neither.
Just kidding.
Me and Brie, we go way back. Take a lot of selfies together. Also, we brush our teeth outside. And that originated in Costa Rica when she was not even there, but she's the one that got like 20 other people to join us for every retreat, every mission trip, and now we brush our teeth outside and look at stars. It's pretty deep. But yeah, Brie's always been like a natural leader for our youth group. You can always count on her to be at every event. And she just really cares about what kind of person she is, like where she is in her faith, and she's really good to talk to about all kinds of stuff like that. She's like always been the person that you can go to.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's obviously, especially for me, like, she's somebody that I know that I can talk to about anything, and I know that she'll give me her honest opinion on it. I would agree that she is very, very, very strong in her faith, which is something that, like, for me, somebody who struggles with their faith is very admirable, and definitely something to aspire to be. Is like, I aspire to have Brianna Hogan's faith.
Like, she tries to hold her friends accountable as best as possible.
No. She does hold them
Yeah,
accountable
she does.
100% of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, that's the kind of friend that I would want to be
Yeah,
too.
like it's weird, but she's the kind of person, like she's the kind of friend that gets mad at you, that gets like she'll get mad at you for doing something stupid, even if like it doesn't affect her at all. It's just because it's bad for you.
Mhm.
Like you'll do something stupid and you'll mess up, and she'll get on you for it because she legitimately cares for you and the person you are and the person you will become.
We're definitely gonna miss her. It won't be the same without her here. She's a great big sister. She's really close with us. She's caring. She's strong. She's really easy to talk to, and we love her.
Like if you're ever feeling sad, she's always there to like bring up the happiness again.
Yeah.
And we're gonna miss having that around.
Yeah, she's got a positive attitude
towards everything.
Yeah, she'll help you put things in a new perspective. So we need that around. We're definitely gonna miss her, but she'll do great at JMU. There's so many fond memories of with Bree. It's hard to pick just one because we're really close, so we spend a lot of time together. There's just spending time with her at the lake and going on walks and just always movie nights in the basement and just the little things, going to the gym, the everyday things. That's what I'm gonna miss.
Every Monday after school, she used to take me to Chick-fil-A after that. Every day after school, so I'm gonna miss that on Mondays. Well, we used to do that.
She sees the good in people that other people won't necessarily see. She has a strong faith, and she's a role model when it comes to that stuff. She's good to talk about faith with, and she's a role model the way she tries to reflect Christ's light through herself. And
she's also really involved in Young Life.
Yeah, she's really involved in the church and in Young Life. And I think it's definitely made a positive impact in her life and
our lives too.
Our lives too, yeah.
A country singer. I don't know if she
Why?
can sing. I'm sure she can.
She probably could.
I can see Bree being a zookeeper
Oh.
with animals and whatnot. She's nice, and animals like that.
Because I'm trying to think about what your family's gonna be like, but then again, Carly, that one girl we coached, she thought you were pregnant back in the day already. So
I forgot about that.
you could just, I don't know. I guess that means you're destined to have twins then. So that's what's gonna happen. Because when you're gonna have a kid, then you have that one that's been long overdue ever since you were a sophomore in high school. Carrie pretty good.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Thanks, Mark.
So that's coming. Get ready for it.
She does she can be really positive, and I could see her being she's really self-motivated too. So I could see her being a personal trainer and just going for runs and just being let's go guys, keep it up.
Like a fitness trainer.
A fitness trainer. But she is going to make a really good nurse too, which is what she's majoring in, because
Really?
she's really calm under pressure.
Xavier? I don't know. Never mind.
What do you think?
like a water girl, because they have.
Is that even a water?
Okay, never
a
mind.
water girl? Yeah, not a water girl. You're doing big things, Brie. You're doing big things. That's fine.
I think she'll also be a nurse.
Yeah.
Like she said, she'll be.
Yeah,
She was pretty good at pretending she knew what to do with my bug bite in Costa Rica.
Pretending.
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 Because she didn't help me at all.
I don't know.
She'll be a dentist and brush people's teeth outside.
Definitely sometime in middle school. I think it was 7th grade. I just remember, I remember people at school, friends at school, encouraging me to come to youth group, or I just noticed that all the friends I had went to the same church. And so I just kind of started out by coming to youth group around 7th grade, and I went on the mission trip that year and just had a blast. And so I just decided that I wanted to be here, and so I would just come out all the time. And then in 8th grade, of course, the band asked me to. Jared left, and they needed pianists, and so the band asked me to come, and that's when I definitely like got the most involved in the church, which was really neat because it was just like I felt like a total part of this community, and to me like HUMC is kind of like a second family to me. So I think it's really neat. I would say mission trips have affected me in that it gave me like a completely different perspective. But the first one I went to was to Raleigh, North Carolina. And it was just crazy because we were in some very rural neighborhoods. And just interacting with kids there was really kind of a different experience than what I might experience in Herndon. And so it definitely kind of opened my eyes to, I guess, the different societies in, I guess, America. It was neat to bond with the people there, and it was also neat to see like their church community was so close knit. It was neat to see how everybody was like in it together there, and how excited they were that we were bringing Upwards basketball to them, and it was just neat because we still talk today to the kids at Troy, the youth group of Troy, and I see them on like social media, like what their youth group's up to, and so it's neat to kind of see that and reflect that. But I know confirmation was big for me with Lara Greenfield, and that was really neat because I felt like, confirmed, I was just kind of, before then, I was just kind of floating around the church, like, wasn't sure if I was a part of the community here or not, but that definitely, like, locked it in, even though I went through a year late, and so it was a little bit different because I didn't have, like, all the friends in my class with me, but I still, like, made, like, some really good friendships that I still have today through confirmation. And the other thing I would say, not a specific moment, but definitely my times with the band have definitely, like, been really strong to me, and I really, really enjoyed playing with them, just because I think I worshipped the most in this church when I was playing with them, and seeing the whole congregation like singing along and stuff, so that definitely like hit it home for me. There are definitely many, I coached Upwards basketball this winter, and I know coaching is just like hilarious because 6th grade girls are just crazy, and so it was definitely, I can't think of like a specific moment, but it was really neat to, I guess, connect with them for a season. And even any other times I've been with Upwards, like the kids playing basketball, like just some of them know what they're doing, but the ones that don't just make me laugh so much, and I think everyone just has a really good time.
I've known Izzy for a long time, starting in middle school, which is really cool, and she was one of my friends in my friend group that like they all went here, and it was just really cool how we all started coming just on Sunday nights for youth group, and then we gradually got involved in like the whole church family and started coming on Sundays as well, the mornings, which was really cool. Izzy is very compassionate and caring. I feel like I can talk to her about anything, and just she's a great example of like how to be a Christian and just how to live your life, and I look up to her a lot in a lot of ways for that. I like to see how dedicated she is to Young Life. I think it's really cool that she gives so much of her time to be a leader in that, and then just to go off for like a month at a time and serve is really cool.
Izzy's really sweet and she's caring, and I like the way she reaches out to people. She's really involved in Young Life, and she's involved with middle schoolers' wildlife, and I just think she like does a lot to just like show Christ through herself, like reflect Christ.
Izzy has good traits of being like a kind person, because she's always like really nice all the time. She'll be like, "How are you, Sonali?" And she always wants to know what's going on like within my life before she doesn't like go into her problems first. She'll be like, "How are you, Sonali? How are things going?" Oh my gosh, we played Upward basketball together. Like the very first season at HUMC, I remember it was like, we were like the rivals, like me and her, we were like, I remember her and me, like, she was really good, and I was afraid of her, because she was like really, really good. But she was always nice about it, like she was so sweet and stuff, and she still is.
So, my first time meeting Izzy, I'm so glad you reminded me. So, Izzy was really good friends with Tim, and I was in love with Tim Sullivan. And, well, Sarah Kurtz and I both were. This is in like 6th grade. I remember we met her at a soccer game. And she was so nice. But we like didn't want to like her because she was like with Tim the whole time. We're like, oh my gosh, like, but we loved Tim. But she was so nice. And then we ended up being really good friends in middle school and high school. But yeah, initially I just remember I was really jealous because she was really good friends with Tim.
She's very helpful. She helps people with lots of things. That's it.
Nice.
That's it. Good at piano.
Oh my god.
That's it. What is helpful
Add a lot of
on the
things.
piano? All right, let me go again.
Okay.
Got this. Okay, what makes Izzy special is that she is always happy, and she's very fun to be around because she's always happy, and that spreads throughout everyone that she's with, which is good because happy is good. Oh my god. And she does things like full on, like she doesn't like kind of like half-ass things. That's good.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That was much better.
Clutch. It's not a funny story, but I remember on the Raleigh mission trip, we were all playing basketball, and she was just really good. I was really surprised.
I remember
She was just draining threes.
we played 2 versus 9 with me and Kenny versus you 9, and Izzy was the biggest threat I had
Yeah.
to worry about. I do remember that.
I remember her form was awful. She'd just throw it up and didn't go in. Like, what is this?
Oh, it was last year. I remember vividly the missions concert. Maybe it was 2 years ago. The missions concert. She played a piece on the piano that was like
Really pretty. I remember
it was
that.
beautiful, and because I had never really heard her play a
really
solo
good.
work before, and I knew she played, but I didn't know she played that well. Like it was really pretty, and I got choked up, and it was really nice. So she's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. I've never
Yeah.
heard a mean thing out of her mouth. So.
She could be a jazz pianist. I mean, she already is, but
I could see her being like Liberace, with the candelabra and like the rings and the wigs and the big like Elton John peacock costumes. I could see that.
Maybe she'll be like like some lab geek, working on the brain. I don't know if it's funny though. She's definitely gonna be making a ton of money, and I won't be. So.
We'll see about that.
I could see Izzy being like just like a camp counselor, like all the time. Just like, let's go for a kayaking trip, or like, I don't know, just with like working with like kids and
I could kind of see her being like, I don't know, like a cheerleader or something, because she's so like happy all the time, and she's really sweet and cool.
I feel like
Could be a
she'd
thing.
I feel like she would be a really good nurse.
I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Like a NICU nurse or like.
She could be a life coach. I could see that.
I could see her being a babysitter like forever.
Forever nanny. Yeah, I could see that. She's really good with kids. She'd be a good mom. But it's not. Well, I mean, that's kind of a full-time job.
I can totally see Bree and Izzy becoming the Fairchild and Hogans of whatever church they go to. I can totally see that
I'm
happening.
already a Hogan.
I know, but like, this church, it's like, Miss Sherry and Miss Hogan. I can totally see it being, Miss Bree and Miss Izzy.
One of my earliest memories, I remember my sister was coming here a long time before I was, and she was always talking about youth group and the retreats and everything, and I really didn't think it was my thing until I eventually, did it, and it was actually pretty awesome. It's the most fun I've really had doing anything, was the winter retreats and, ultimate frisbee and everything that comes with it, and even getting away for a week and making a difference, not playing video games. It's fun. Last year, the Christiansburg trip was really it was good for me as a person. You know, I'm sure most people remember it, but there was one night where I don't even remember what they were talking about, but it was just something that hit me, and it just, you know, we normally have like free time after the devotion or whatever, like an hour and 15 minutes or whatever, and I sat in the, what do they call it, sanctuary, I guess their version of a sanctuary, for that whole hour and 15 minutes and just sobbed. Like, I didn't like where I was in life and really wanted to change it, and everybody sat there with me. You know, it was awesome. You know, it's a real family here, and I love that. And since that, I've been up and getting better, and I'm actually comfortable, and I like where I am now. My confirmation retreat, that was really what started my kind of reflection, I guess. And so it's been a long journey since I really started doing all these things and the retreats and everything, and it's just, but that's what started me on the path to, I want to be a better person. I want to leave this world better than the way I came into it, and really make a difference on somebody, no matter who that is, because everybody here has done that for me. Drew was awesome. You know, he can't really express what he did for me, because, you know, he really pulled me into getting all this started, and I honestly don't know where I would be if I didn't have done any of this, any of the, you know, church, youth group, anything. I honestly don't know what I'd be doing right now. You know, I was not heading down a bad path, but it wasn't where I want to be, you know. And now I have an internship with the Washington Capitals. You know, I'm going to college to do what I want to do. I'm working, I'm making money. You know, I removed bad people from my life, and I have better friends now, and it's just, I wouldn't have done any of that if he hadn't gotten me into this. And it's really, you know, I owe him everything.
He's really friendly. Like, I feel like when we go on mission trips and stuff, he always connects well with like other churches and other people, and just makes good relationships.
Easy to talk to.
Yeah.
That's Jacob, by the way. We only use pronouns on that, so for the video, I got you.
Jacob Birch.
Jacob Birch.
Jacob Birch. We're at the church, Jacob Birch, recording this video for the church.
Jacob Birch at the church. He's one of the few people that we actually got to go to high school with that was in the youth group.
Yeah.
So that was
like
fun.
4 or 5.
So we actually got to see him in the hallway and be like, "You going to youth group?" Not that I said it like that.
She did.
I did.
She did. Like.
But yeah, Jake's also one of the people that I think started taking things more seriously.
Not the phone.
Then.
Okay. He's one of the people that also I could see him start growing in his faith and taking it more seriously. Like, he really does care about it, and like you could see that on the Spy mission trip too, cause cause Maggie's talk and Spy like really got to him, I think, and I think he really does care. Like, he wants to be strong in his faith, and he's still trying to find himself. But I think he's been good at like being a really good. I think he's a really good big brother. I think he's had a good impact on a lot of his peers at Parkview too.
I agree.
And hockey, he's always at hockey, so the few times that he was actually able to grace us with his presence here were very enjoyable.
Birch.
It was a splendid time.
Birch was also there for Megabed, although he did not make it to the finals. Sorry. Something, I remember Jacob was one of the few people that, like, of my age group that got confirmed with me, because I remember I felt weird. Like, I was a junior in high school getting confirmed with, like, a bunch of 7th graders. And then, like, Jacob was there because he hadn't been confirmed either, it was reassuring to see somebody, like, my age there, like, obviously. It was great to see him there, and, like, I got to watch, like, especially at Camp High Road, like, just during, like, some of the nightly devotions, I guess. Like, just, you can see that he actually is trying to, like Vanessa was saying, like, trying to, like, get a grip, get a grip on, like, on his, on his faith and, like, where it's taking him and, like, the path that God wants for him.
Jake Birch is really outgoing and he's funny. He's also really into sports, which I think is cool. He's just a fun person to be around. He's a fun person to talk to.
He's Jake Birch. He's
I was
so
gonna say,
he's so
he's Jake
outgoing.
Birch.
Like he's always just like so full of energy. Like
Yeah.
if you like are looking to do something, like he's always like up to do it. You know, like.
I could see him moving to the West Coast and just being like yeah, bruh, like, I don't know, like a lax coach or
Yeah, he could be a
something-
coach, like a sports coach.
something where you need flow and long hair
You
and
need flow. I don't think I need
I don't
require
think
flow.
that's required.
Like on the application,
I
like,
don't
do you have flow?
but yeah, I could see him doing something like that, wearing a helmet, so he doesn't get more concussion. He could be a construction worker because that requires helmets. So Jacob, the construction worker, and then he could have the flow coming out of the back. He could even wear it backwards if he really wanted to.
Ooh.
See him being like a rodeo clown, definitely. I don't know why he comes off as that kind of a person, like wanting to entertain people.
A
But-
guy who owns a liquor store.
It
Just came into me.
just came to me.
Birch beer. Birch.
That could be a thing.
Whoa.
I
That
could
was-
see it.
That just came right here,
Just
guys.
came.
That was really funny.
He developed sports. gear.
Motocross racer.
What's that?
You know what motocross is? They race bikes.
Oh, okay.
I
feel like he like developed
He'd be like
sports
an-
gear.
He'd be like an extreme sports person or like make sports gear or something.
Like
Develop new technology for
like
not getting
helmets.
concussions.
He developed new helmet technology.
I think he's definitely going to be, he's always going to stick with something sports related. So whether he's like a teacher or whatever job he wants to be, I think he'll be like a hockey coach or he'll be like a sports announcer. I think he would be the sports announcer.
Well, I remember most of my childhood was spent doing Sunday schools, and that was like pretty important to me, I think. And all the Veggie Tales we would watch and all the fun activities that you wouldn't think would help you connect more to scripture and stuff, but it really did. And I remember that really impacting me when I was young, that I would always look forward to coming and sitting with my parents in church, not wanting to be there, drawing pictures all the time. So I don't know, definitely like my life in the young Sunday school class was important to me. The thing that I may remember most about when I was younger actually is the confirmation trip. That was really fun. That, I don't know, something that happened there was really awesome because I don't know, all the stuff that we talked about, it was really, I don't know, it really hit home for me, especially with because when I was younger, I didn't really like know what I was doing here and like what the whole thing was all about. So I remember going to that and it really like sunk in for me, like faith and all the stuff that goes into what, like why you believe, you know what I mean? It was a really important trip for me, I remember. I remember in 7th grade just being with Justin. I mean, I don't know, I think I really connected with him personally because I just felt he knew how to he explained it to me in a way that it really helped me understand like all of this, because I mean, you know, a lot of sermons will just say and believe this because, but I mean, he would make you think about why should we and what is the reason that we're here and all these big questions that he would break down and really talk to us about. And he was just a great guy, so I remember that roast and toast was really rough. I don't know. And going on that confirmation trip again was really important to me. Like that was awesome. I remember that. And it really helped me really set like my beliefs and how I like go about my life with Christ, so. Oh yeah, I do. Last year we did, or maybe it was the year before, we did dodgeball, and that was an interesting night. I got hit in the face like 3 different times by Drew, like 3 separate times, and he sucker punched me in the face like 3 different times, and that was actually so fun because we made the t-shirts, and we played like literally 2-hour-long game, and it was so fun. All the Christmas sermons were really awesome. I love Christmas sermons in the church, and being in the choir is always great, and the mission concert last year was really awesome, so there's a lot of little memories. This is the most important story of my entire life, and I have always told it with him in it, but I don't know if he was actually there, but no, he was. He was definitely there. Okay, so I'm in 3rd grade with Mark Anderson and all his people, and I was annoying, believe it or not, in 3rd grade.
No.
Yeah, I was.
Who knew?
And I would talk a lot, and my teacher one day was sitting in class and had to go get some papers, and so she left, and she said, "Guys, I'll be right back." And so I took that as, let me start talking nonstop for an endless amount of time, so I start annoying all my friends. And so I'm almost 90% sure this was him. If it's not, this is going to be awkward, but it's still a funny story. So Mark Anderson stands up, he looks at me, and he says, "Kim, why don't you put a sock in it?" And so I'm like,
I can see Mark too.
and so I think to myself, what would be the best course of action? To stop talking, or the other option that I chose was to take off my shoe and to stick my sock in my mouth.
Oh.
And that was quite interesting. And all the kids laughed.
Kimberly Strathers. She's a bit of a hoot.
A bit.
A bit.
I'm a lot of a hoot.
I've known you since, 2nd grade?
It's been a great run.
It's been a great
It's been
run.
a wild ride. Olivia.
That's so true. We went through confirmation together. We went to Richmond together, which was
we've been in choir, we've been in Blacklight Puppets. Real puppets.
Oh my gosh, that's so
I don't know. It's been we've pretty much
been
done it
together a
all.
long time.
Christmas orchestra.
Christmas orchestra every year.
Kimberly, I
Oh
love
gosh.
Kimberly so much. She is just, the lack of a better way to say, she's so loud, and I love it. She's so, she doesn't care what anyone thinks, and she's like lets loose all the time. And it's awesome.
She's really fun to be around. She's so funny, and
She'll give it to you how it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
She will not sugarcoat it.
She's straight and to the point, which I really like about her. She's a cool person, and her taste in music is like amazing. It's on
Doesn't
point.
get better.
I've seen her singing in her Snapchat videos, like belting
Yeah.
out. Like
She's
I
a
don't even
belter.
know what it was. Honestly, I couldn't
But you loved it
decipher.
anyway. But you loved it anyways.
Yeah, it
so.
was hilarious.
Exactly.
She always makes me laugh. She's just really, really funny. Like, just, like, the random things she says. Like, she almost doesn't have a filter, but it's not a bad way. It's just, like, she says what's on her mind, and I love that. Just, like, you go, girl. Like, she just kind of puts herself out there, and I think that's really neat. I kind of sometimes aspire to be, like her, like, able to open myself up around any. I think that's really, really neat.
Adelio, ¿qué pasa, amigo? Video. ¿Cómo está, amigo?
Bien. Con las muchachas.
Sí,
Hola.
totalmente.
Totalmente.
Sí.
Come.
Okay.
I'm sorry, okay?
Okay.
It's okay.
Adelio, ¿le gustan las chicas?
No, yo estoy muy viejito.
Sí.
Sí, muy viejito, no más chica. No. Soy muy viejito. ¿Comprende viejito?
Sí. Poco.
Nos vamos a celebrar las vidas de los jóvenes y entonces
Poquito comprendo.
van al colegio
Al colegio.
el año próximo.
Van al colegio el año próximo a la universidad.
Sí.
Sí.
A la universidad, ok. Que Dios me las bendiga, ¿ok?
Ok.
¿Comprende ella? Que Dios lo bendiga. Que Dios la bendiga en el colegio, universidad, pura A. Examen A, ¿ok?
Okay,
Ok.
always.
Bueno.
Got it.
Mucho gusto.
Buenas
Bueno.
notas.
Sí, bueno. gracias a Dios que les vaya muy bien, muy excelente el colegio aquí.
Sí.
No, aquí, no. Aquí,
Nada.
aquí, nada. Todo aquí. Aquí. Dice el teacher, dice, hey, pum, pum, no good.
Okay, no bueno, no bueno.
Oh, bravo, okay.
Gracias, hombre.
Gracias, amigo.
Hasta luego.
Lo quiero mucho.
Ten cuidado, amigo.
Sí. Que Dios les bendiga.
Gracias. Gotta put that in there.
And I walked in the room and she was singing Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, but she was like getting really into it and like dancing, and it was just so funny. And then I remember we argued for a little bit, not us, but like it was like me, her, Sarah, and a couple others. We were like arguing over what the words were and just got really heated. It was so funny.
Alright, in third grade, we our teacher left the room for about 10 minutes. For a few minutes, Kim Strother starts talking, and she's talking with a pretty loudly. And so Tim Sullivan, we keep referencing Tim, but
I know.
Tim Sullivan, he goes, Kim, put a sock in it. So then she just goes, okay, takes off her shoes, takes off her sock, and puts her sock in her mouth, like completely voluntarily.
Oh my.
And it was just like, I don't know.
So funny. Third grade.
I don't know, I'm just never gonna forget that. I don't know why. It was funny.
In band, we have band camp in the summer, and
That time at band camp.
yeah, whatever. And then we'd have like lunch, and usually like the upperclassmen eat with like each other, and like the underclassmen eat with each other. But she would always try to like mix everyone together. I thought that was nice, like trying to make sure everyone had a friend.
A funny story with Kim would be on one of the rides home from choir. She tweeted a famous person, and the famous person replied, and in the car she like started screaming, and me and Jacob were so scared in the car, like she like let go of the steering wheel. She was like screaming. She like grabbed me though the first time. She grabbed me and she was like screaming out of joy, and yeah, it was really funny. She started singing. She was so happy. Yeah, it was funny.
What will Kim be in the future? Jeez.
I could see her being like a really cool high school teacher.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she would make kids our age laugh and be really funny.
She'll be the one that's selected for a graduation speaker like every 3 years because they don't let you do it every other year. But, yeah, she'll be that one that like everybody loves. Like, oh, go to Miss Struthers' class. Like, yeah.
She would make a fun teacher. She would be the most hilarious. She'd be the teacher that like everybody wants. Like all the people who've had her, like they'll like talk to their brother or sister and be like, oh, you have to have Miss Strother next year. She's the craziest lady I know, and she's so much fun in class. Like Kim would be a good teacher. Yeah.
I want her to be in the middle of like a city somewhere, and she can just stand up with a microphone and just people watch.
She could be a really good YouTuber if she didn't get like her own talk show or something.
Ooh, talk show. I get a talk show.
Like the next, she's going to be the next Ellen DeGeneres. I can see it.
Use that. Don't use anything else.
Or I could see her teaching Zumba class. I could totally see that.
I mean, I guess that's technically teaching, but that's not really.
No, I could totally see that. Because Kim would get really into it, and it would be fun. If Kim had a Zumba class, I would totally go. It'd be awesome. Just like bright spandex. I could totally see it.
I totally see like when she like has kids that she'll be the house that all of her kids will come over to. Like when when all her friends hang out.
And she would make
they'll come
really
over.
good food.
Yeah, and she'd like make food and just she'll make the right amount of like geeky parent jokes that are slightly embarrassing but not like overdoing it. You know, I can see that happening.
I can totally see that. Yeah.
For like weightlifters, I could see her being like the kind of person, like the person that would like yell at them to motivate them.
That's why I said Zumba. Like she'd be good at.
There's a
like,
huge
yeah,
difference
come on,
between
guys.
Zumba and like
Not
powerlifting.
I could see powerlifting, but I could see Zumba. Like, yeah, guys, come on.
No, that's nice.
But not
You'd
like.
be like mean about it.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Zumba's like, yeah. Powerlifting's like, you get it.
Have
Like,
you ever been to Zumba? Come on, Mark. You don't know how hard it is.
I
man.
Zumba.
You don't know how hard it is.
Some kind of a comedian, definitely. I can see that.
Yeah.
But I can see you being like an English teacher for some reason. Just be like completely sarcastic.
I mean, no matter what I do, I'm gonna be sarcastic. So
That's true.
it's really just.
Probably the most boring job in the world. You could be like one of those people who have to sit at a desk all day with like a cheese grater to your forehead.
Vacation Bible School when I was a kid. I used to go here. Nothing. Oh, Wes Amonette. I remember he was my like group leader, and I just thought he was the coolest guy, and I thought he was a pretty sweet guy, and that was probably my first memory, just liking Wes Amonette. Pretty humbling for, definitely humbling. Just to see what it's like for other people and also get to make friendships with people that also were from other churches. I mean, it definitely made me more aware and more conscious when I was talking about, people that had different situations than I did,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just say the confirmation retreat kind of as a whole. I mean, that was the last thing we really did with PJ before he left, and, Justin's a really cool guy. He was a really great pastor. And it was just, and we had a really big class that year, and I was with a lot of friends of mine.
I have a lot of fun with Mark, actually. Specifically, it's outside of church, but we did journalism together for 3 years, and he's just so funny. He makes me laugh. He brings, something special to a room, and just, I don't know, he makes everyone smile, and he's just really humorous, honestly.
Yeah.
On the Raleigh mission trip, I remember that night when it was cry night, I don't know, everyone was just really emotional. And Mark wouldn't cry. He just couldn't. I don't know, everyone else was kind of upset and kind of, feeling it. And Mark just couldn't cry, so he was just kind of sitting there. And then I think I was, kind of tearing up, and he came over to me and, hugged me or something. And he's like, I just want to look like I'm, emotional. He just said that. He's like, I just want to look like I'm, doing something. Yeah, Mark's really fast. It's kind of cool.
Made states the other day. Yeah.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Mark thinks he's really gangster.
Mm.
And he's not.
That's pretty unique.
Telling you, I'd be a good rapper.
In middle school, yeah, I just remember he was really into rap and basketball and, all these things. I was like, Mark. I don't know. He just kind of does his thing. Mark, it's cool to see Mark in working with the kids. So Capernaum is Young Life, but for special needs kids. And Mark just does really well. He doesn't focus on the fact they have special needs or that he doesn't treat them like they're younger or not capable. And he does really well with them. And it's just really cool to see him doing that and working with them and just having a lot of fun with it.
I see him being a CEO of something. I don't know.
I can see that.
I could see him being the leader of something.
I can
I
see
see him
being,
in a tux. Or not a tux, but a business suit.
Yeah. I can see him becoming really successful, but also that boss everyone likes because he's always got a smile on. He's
It's
not
take
gonna,
a break.
I mean, he might pick on some people just for fun, but I think he'd also be a really cool person to work for.
I could definitely see him as a politician, but a really.
He should run for president one day.
He could definitely be president one day. I can see that happening, because he can.
He'd be such a chill president.
Yeah.
But Mark was really set on becoming a rapper, and he had already planned out his first 4 albums. So if that ever plays out, I could totally see that. Yeah. I could see you being Coach Sherry, being a track coach, long distance coach.
It's one of the nicest things anyone said.
Yeah. I liked Coach Sherry. So.
Do you like Sherry?
He could run a game show or something like that. I feel like he could definitely.
He has that kind of.
He's good with. I feel like he'd be good with TV or something in that matter.
He's got a TV.
A really crappy game show, but people would only watch it for him, because he'd be the really funny part.
Or I could see him on a reality show.
A reality show, the
Mark
host of a reality
Anderson's
show.
life.
I feel like he'd be the host of a reality show, Chris Harrison on The Bachelor, and he would just like watch all these idiots do stupid things, and he would just laugh. And yeah.
I actually came here in second grade when I moved here from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I remember coming into the church when my parents were just looking at the church, and I remember all these people just being so welcoming and coming up to my family and asking us like, oh, where are you from? Why are you here? Not in a bad way, but like hoping that we'd stay. And I did go to Sunday school, and I remember meeting Kimberly, and I met Mallory as well when she was a first grader. She's a cute little first grader, and she grew up and but she and I really clicked, and we've been best friends for 10 years now. And I remember joining puppets in third grade and just really getting enclosed into the church. Well, the first mission trip I went on was when I was in 8th grade, and we went to Louisiana with Ashley. And that was really the only mission trip I've been able to go on. But that affected me in a huge way. Because I was in the group that worked on church. And we were just cleaning up the church and just fixing up things around the area. And, I painted a fence probably 3 times because of the rain. But I remember walking around the neighborhoods that were destroyed from Hurricane Katrina and bringing food to people and bringing hope to people. And I remember someone coming up to me and saying, you're such a good person for doing this and for coming down here and helping us because we don't deserve it. And that really changed me because I didn't realize that just the smallest thing, like painting a fence or giving somebody a bottle of water, could really affect someone's life in a huge way. And that person who said that to me just changed my life. And it made me realize I love helping people. And the year I started helping out with Vacation Bible School in 7th grade, that was the first year I volunteered. And I remember being in charge of a group of kids and, really getting to know them and realizing that these kids were really special. And I absolutely loved them, and I fell in love with these kids, and that's when I started helping out more in the children's ministry and really wanting to work with these kids more and watching these kids grow. I've watched a bunch of the kids grow, and I've watched a bunch of their siblings grow, and it's a really exciting experience for me that I get to see this happen. And I think that was probably one of the biggest impacts that happened in my life through this church. Just because, that's basically set up everything that I want to do for the rest of my life in volunteering with kids and making an impact on kids' lives and hopefully becoming a teacher. Anything basically to do with blacklight puppets. That's made a huge impact on my life. It's only been around since my sophomore year, but, I've made a lot of close friends in that group, and anything that has to do with us going to the competition up in Laurel, Maryland with the Tabernacle Church. Jokes now with that, like the I can't even talk. Tabernacle Twerk was one of the things, and then Subway Doug was another thing, and all the puppet kids look at that. But in really just bonding through the car rides and sitting in traffic and having that experience of rehearsal where we just yell over each other to get answers and ideas out. And I know on my last performance and on my last rehearsal I cried because that's been such a huge part of my life.
So I've known Olivia since I was in second grade. No, first grade. She was in second grade. I met her when she first came to the church, and I've always looked up to her as kind of like a big sister, and like we've been best friends forever. And fond memories, I would say we go camping with our families usually every Labor Day, except not this one because she's going to be at college, but those have always been fun. There's like a jumping pillow and we do that. we've gone to Renaissance festivals together. We've done VBS. I could go on and on. She's my best friend, and some of her best qualities is she's able to you can talk to her about anything. Literally, you could go up to her and be like, hey, I need help, and she'd be willing to help you. She gives great advice. She can also be that person that can cheer you up when you're down. She can crack jokes whenever she wants to. So we go camping usually every Labor Day weekend with her family and my family. They have an RV. I was staying with Olivia in the RV, and they have bunk beds at the top, and we slept up there. And so it was at night, and we were sleeping, and Olivia took the outside, but she usually sleeps on the inside because I never slept up there before. And so she's like, okay, I'll take the outside. And we were sleeping, and I wake up because I hear this huge thud on the floor, and I hear a big groan. And I look over, I pat next to me, and I'm like, crap, she's not there. I look over, and she's on the floor, but she's sitting like this, and she was really in pain. And then her mom comes out. She landed right on her tailbone, and I was like, are you okay? And she's like, I don't think so. And I was like, okay, and I went back to sleep. I'm a really good friend.
Are you good? Your mom's here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going back to sleep.
I saw her mom, so I was like, okay, she's good, and I went back to sleep.
Well, Olivia, so many things I could say.
So many things.
She's very outspoken in a good way. She makes sure that people knows what she's trying. People's knows. People knows. No, she makes sure that her voice is heard, which is really nice because a lot of people don't have that, and I really appreciate that in her because she's a very strong, independent woman who don't need no man. And that's always nice to see, especially in a teenager. So you've been in basically in the middle of the church.
You live in the church.
Yeah, you live here. So I mean, she does everything. Like I was saying, I mean, we've done most of the same things, but I've kind of flaked on some of them. But she's definitely stuck with all of it. So it's really nice to see that kind of commitment that I can't say I have. So
a few fond memories that I have with Olivia would have to be during choir with Miss Shannon and Jacob and Kim. We always have a good time together. Would be that she always has a smile on her face, and she always makes she'll always ask me if I'm okay sometimes during choir and stuff, and she'll always get us back in order, me and Jacob and Kim.
Olivia's really passionate about band and drama, and it's just really cool to see how excited she gets talking about it and how involved she is, and I mean in general just how passionate she can be about something. And also just seeing her in working with VBS and working with the kids, it's cool to see how many of the kids look up to her and just adore her. Those kids love her. It's really cool.
Olivia, she's awesome with kids. I think it's so neat that she helps out her mom out all the time with the children's ministry, and she's always super super excited. Olivia's, I mean, like I said, she's always involved. She's always really excited to be here. She's really really close with both of her parents, and I think that's really awesome that they're so close knit and they work together all the time to put forth in the church. And that's really awesome, especially in the children's ministry. Like I said, she's always here. There's almost never a Sunday that I don't see her.
One of those waitresses at those bars that they have to dress up in a costume and dance for everyone every hour. That would look. That would be so funny. That this one.
So
place.
Disney World, basically.
Yeah, Disney World. You'd be good at Disney World anywhere. Any one of the jobs.
Well, I'm hoping to work there.
That'd be great.
I kind of see her being a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's really a leader and stuff.
I could see her working in some sort of musical somewhere, I don't know, or maybe being a drama teacher, but a cool drama teacher, because I've had really bad drama teachers, but she'd be a good one.
Either something with kids or something with music, because I know she's, no offense at all, but she's a band geek and I love it.
I mean, I've always seen her as she wants to be a teacher for elementary schoolers. So I like that's the perfect job for her. I don't think there's anything crazy that I could give her. She could be the first woman president.
There you go. First woman president.
There we go.
Done.
Some of my earliest memories at this church would be middle school, was when I first got involved, and that's when PJ was leading the youth, and I just really hit it off with PJ. Bree would bring me to church, to youth group on Sunday nights, and I just really connected with PJ. He was super cool, went out of his way to get to know me, and I really liked, he would take me and Bree out to get ice cream a lot. I think like we're still due for another ice cream. He was always like, hit me up, we'll still go get some. We would go over to like the Creamery and World Gate, and it was just really cool that he went out of his way to get to know me. This past summer I attended my first mission trip and we went to Christiansburg, Virginia. And it started out kind of slow. We were all like, where is this place? It was kind of in the middle of nowhere. But by the end of the week we loved it. We loved the staff. The devotions that we heard really touched a lot of us, and it just brought our youth group much closer because every night we would sit down as a group and talk about things that I feel like we don't talk about like on a day-to-day basis. So it was kind of like a safe group, and it was a very cool setting, and at the same time we got to help the community and give back, which was I liked because I like the physical labor, and it was just nice getting involved in a community that we knew nothing about. Whether it be PJ or Drew, just the youth groups with the speeches that Drew would give just really connected to me. I feel like he would bring stuff down to like a personal level and like talk to us in a way that connected to our day-to-day life and how we could bring like Christ into our day-to-day life instead of like sometimes a sermon kind of just goes over your head, but like he would make sure that like we really understood how we could make a difference and how we could be more Christ-like, and I really appreciated that. It would probably be the winter retreat 2 winters ago. It was just a lot of fun. There was a huge group of us, and I remember on our very last day, we went down to like this secluded area in the woods, and everyone kind of talked, which was really cool. And it was just a fun weekend. Like we got to play a lot of games. I remember we played a huge game of Jenga, and I still have pictures of it on my phone. And it was just a really cool weekend to like get away from just everything and hang out with everyone. I got to know some of the members of our youth group better, like Jacob Moberly, who's younger than me. I remember he made me laugh so much on that weekend, and connect to a lot of the adults as well.
Sarah's probably the kindest person I know. Like, she is just so genuine. I don't think she has a mean bone in her body. Like, she's just so kind. And she's a really good friend. She's always been there for me, and just amazing in that regard. Yeah, Sarah's gonna do awesome in college. Everyone's gonna love her. So.
She's a beast at softball, by the way.
She's amazing at softball. It's cool to see how passionate. I mean, since like 3rd grade, that's been her. Even before then, that's always been her thing. Like Sarah, softball. Mm-hmm. It's awesome to see it play out for her.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Sarah, before I met her, I knew all about her through my best friend Carly Sheely. They played softball together, and Carly's always like, Sarah Kurtz is so cool, like blah blah blah. And I was like, who's this Sarah girl? Like, I really want to know her. And so I got to middle school, and she was one of the first people I saw, and I was like, that girl, I'm gonna be friends with her. And yeah, we had some beginning of middle school. I forget who it was, but
we all liked Tim. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, yeah, Tim Sullivan. He caused some conflict between, I guess, me and Sarah, but I wasn't aware of it, which was really funny because I really wanted to be friends with her, but apparently she didn't want to be friends with me for that reason, and it was a little bit confusing. Don't worry, we've straightened things out since then. So, anyway, so middle school are definitely fond memories through the journey of becoming friends with Sarah. All right, Sarah is just like, she's always smiling. Like she's very caring. She wouldn't ever like hurt anyone with words. Like she's always like, she just says all the nicest things. She's always so happy to see everyone. Loves to catch up. Loves to like hang out. She'll always be like, hey, let's hang out. Let's go shopping. You know, and I love that because you know not everyone reaches out like that. And I just love to see her, like especially like at church and stuff. It's just awesome. I remember 7th grade, I think it was, in this Pride Pledges class. Her and like a couple of other friends of us in our group like would pass notes all the time, and it's just so funny like looking back on that, like passing
We'd
notes in
always get
class.
in trouble too.
I know. They'd always get taken away, and it's just like we're like, oh no, what if she reads them? Like sometimes they'd be about the teacher, they'd be about other people, and so yeah, we definitely bonded a lot over those class notes. I just love how she switched over her church to this church because she thought that she'd be able to be like more involved here. She liked the atmosphere here, so I thought that was really strong of her to like make it a big decision to like switch churches, and she even like brought her family here, which I thought was really neat. Because at first it was just her, and then like now like I see her mom and her sister here all the time, and brother too.
Sarah's the nicest person. She's one of the nicest people I've met. She reaches out to people, and she's just really caring, and she's genuine.
She was the first person I watched The Notebook with. We sat there bawling on her couch. It was quite the bonding. We also watched, what was that movie? There's like 4 of them now, and it's a scary movie. Paranormal Activity. And I hate scary movies. And we watched it together, and it was traumatizing, but it was also a bonding experience. Oh, she was a Brett Favre like obsession.
She did have,
like in middle school,
that.
and I would be like, Sarah, he's like 40. And she's like, oh, but he's so hot. He's like 40.
We made so many jokes to her when the Brett Favre nude pictures came out. That was a good time.
She loves Brett Favre.
She does.
I mean, honestly, like, she could start professional softball. She could, like, single-handedly start, like, a league on television outside of college. Her hair is beautiful, too. So there's that side note. It's beautiful.
She could be a hair model.
Yeah, she could be a hair model.
And so I know she wants to go into, like, sports management, so she might be that really funny manager of a sports team. And, you know, I mean, I know she's definitely going to go into sports somehow. And I think that's awesome because it's like what she's really committed to. Journalism, I know she likes a lot, and so she might be that like really funny commentator in the Sports Illustrated or something like that.
That would be awesome. Honestly, I feel like she could actually go pro in softball. I mean, I know that's a pretty small like league, but she's very elite at that. You know, I mean, to say that when someone's a senior in high school is crazy. When you say that in 3rd grade, that's nothing. But
Yeah, I could also see her, I know she wants to do journalism, and I could see her excelling at journalism and just doing, really?
No, I'm saying she was picked as editor-in-chief of the paper over me.
Oh.
Still salty about that. Snubbed.
But again, Sarah's one of those people who has really good work ethic and would be good at what she decides to do.
I can totally see her just being one of those like cutesy Southern moms living
in
Alabama or Mississippi.
Actually. Yeah, I could see her moving to the South or to Pennsylvania, getting a farm.
Pennsylvania is the South. It just happens to be in the North.
I could see her teaching Zumba too.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to reiterate because apparently I say everyone's a teacher. But I could see Sarah teaching Zumba. She'd be awesome. I couldn't see her yelling at people though. Like.
But you don't yell.
I feel like you don't yell at.
You've never been to Zumba.
That just seems like the opposite of what
It's
Zumba
empowering.
is.